What's up, YouTube, and welcome to another exciting video where I talk about personal finance, investing, stocks, precious metals like gold and silver, and all that good stuff. First, my disclaimer, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, so anything I say on this channel, just kind of take with a grain of salt, do your own research. I just speak my mind, basically for entertainment purposes only. Um, with that out of the way, um, I just recently published on my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom, a net worth update for September 1st, which was yesterday. And every month I have a habit of looking at my net worth. Basically, if you don't know, if you're new to personal finance, if you don't understand any of this stuff, it's basically all my assets like my house, investments, precious metals, like you see here. Um, Minus any liabilities like my mortgage, say credit card debt or a line of credit or something like that. And the difference is your net worth, what you would be worth today if you liquidated everything you had. Um, Obviously, we all want to have a positive net worth. Unfortunately, though, too many of us have a negative net worth. There's consumer debt, there's student loans, there's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of outstanding debt. You know, guys, we are at record levels of global debt these days. So if you're one of those people who's kind of saddled with debt, mired in debt, don't feel bad about yourself. You're not alone. There's tons of people out there in your exact situation. So, like I said before on this channel, I'm not here to lecture or to you know shame people for their spending habits. I just want to let you guys know what I've done, what works for me, and what I think would work for a lot of other people too. It's just really basic, simple stuff like spend less than you earn. And it doesn't have to be super, like, you don't have to be a super tightwad or anything like that. Just a little bit less, just live slightly below your means and bank and invest the rest. Of course, the lower below your means that you live, the more you get to save and invest and so on. So you'll build wealth a lot quicker the more you save. It's just really straightforward, simple things. Um, try to deny yourself all of life's luxuries. Now, I'm starting to get to the age now where I've been doing this a long time, and I'm starting to ease up a bit, right? I want to enjoy a bit of life too, right? Like there needs to be a balance, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Yes, take that once in a lifetime great vacation, but then maybe say no to something else that you don't need. Maybe you want to upgrade your car, or you want to upgrade your house, or you want to put a swimming pool in your backyard. I don't know what you want to do, but there's ways to balance things off, to get ahead in life, and that's ultimately what building wealth and personal finance is all about. Just managing our money, managing our assets and liabilities. Um, One of the best analogies that I've ever heard was kind of run your life like you would a business. Unfortunately, far too many of us run our lives as though we're going bankrupt, and and that's not too good for your pocketbook and whatnot. But more importantly, we live in extraordinary times right now, and I really truly believe that people, if they haven't learned a bit about personal finance since the last financial crisis 10 years ago, they sure as heck better learn now. Um, because all of this government support money, it can't last forever. It's not going to go on forever. And when that ends, you want to be in a position not to be wiped out, not to be evicted or lose your home. Those are terrible things to go through. I wouldn't wish them on anybody. I just wish we could all just kind of live life and prosper, right? But unfortunately, it's not always the way. And a lot of it boils down to our money habits, what we spend our money on. And I'm not talking about don't buy a Starbucks coffee. I think a lot of that stuff, people throw those finance expert guys, they throw that stuff out there. But honestly, saving $5 a day, you're not going to become a millionaire anytime soon. Get that out of your head right now. It's just a load of bull. Even saving 100 a month, yeah, all these calculators, in 40 or 50 years you will be a millionaire. All right, well, um, $1 million just ain't what it used to be. Growing up 25 years ago, $1 million was just a huge amount of money. How many houses would that buy? Probably like 25, 30. Today, or no, more than 25, 30. Like, what would you get today for that? Like basically one house. So $1 million when you're 65 years old is not going to be the same as $1 million today in 2020, or it's not going to be the same as it was 10 years ago in 2010 or in the year 2000. Money depreciates over time. We all know that. It's the inflation that happens, the debasement of currency by central banks continuously printing more and more money, continuously binging on more and more debt. It just This is kind of what it is, right? You need to be saving a lot more than that. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I'm just here to say, like, there are ways to do it. You can invest in things like the stock market. Although at this particular point in time, stocks are actually quite. I feel they're quite overvalued. Um, so it probably wouldn't hurt just to kind of sit in cash, um, for if you're thinking about making your first investment or whatever. If it's a small amount, sure, go for it. Go buy an index fund, or do something like that. What I have been doing a little bit with my money is, over the past 12, 13, 14 years, something like that, I've been buying a lot of dividend paying stocks. But now, over the past few years, because of low interest rates and the need for yield, um, the dividend stock is kind of a crowded trade now. Like everybody, or prior to this, the market crash back in March, everybody and their dog was loading up on dividend stocks. It's just one of those things. It's just really difficult, right? Like, and I'm starting to feel the same way now with like kind of the gold trade, right? Everybody's like piled into gold stocks and silver stocks. So, is there room for these to move? Sure, there is, but you got to be realistic. Um, 5 years ago, gold was like what, $1,000 US. Today it's 2,000. I mean, it's just, it's doubled in price. That's not to say gold can't go significantly higher, and I truly believe that it will be going higher, with all of the central bank money printing and stuff like that. But I'm not exactly backing up the truck and loading up on gold and silver right now. Right? I mean, it's things are so uncertain, even for the precious metals. It's just, you don't know. Um, One area that I am looking at, and do your own research, guys. Don't take anything I say. Always talk to a financial advisor before making any financial decisions. But one of the things that I've been slowly kind of dipping my toe into is the energy sector. I bought IXC, which is iShares Global Energy. The yield on the thing is like 9.5% or something insane. Clearly, that's going to go down. It'll get cut if oil stays lower for longer, or it'll stay the same and normalize, once once oil recovers. But I am starting to play, the commodity recovery. Oil is at, and other commodities too, are trading at record lows. They've never been this cheap. They've never been this low ever. Okay. Just last week, ExxonMobil kicked out of the Dow Jones. Now that only leaves Chevron to wave the banner for energy, in that industrial average, in that index. So, um, I don't know. I'm trying to be a contrarian. It's hard to be a contrarian. Trust me. Being a contrarian means being like losing money in the short term. It's not fun. Um, but I do firmly believe that, just looking at the prices of these things, even if we just got back to where we are pre-pandemic, which isn't, in my mind, a far stretch, demand's going to recover. We're going to want to fly airplanes again. We're going to want to go on a cruise ship. We're going to want to drive our car. We're probably going to have to drive our car to work. That's the thing. That's the thing with investing and all these trends and stuff like that. We think that just because people work from home now, that's going to be the case going forward, and no one's going to need office buildings. Nobody will ever go to the mall again. No one's going to do all this stuff. maybe to a small degree, but I believe like and condos in big cities are going to be gutted, and no one will ever return to the big cities. I feel like there's going to be an incredible opportunity to buy downtown real estate, condos, or whatever, townhomes for incredibly good prices in the near future. Um, and when that happens, I'm gonna want to, yeah, I'm gonna consider taking advantage of that. Maybe buying a condo, um, in a downtown, in a downtown area. Um, you gotta kind of keep perspective in investing. 10 years ago, it was the end of the world. Today, it's the end of the world. Somehow, some way, we manage and we find our way forward. Even the trade spat with China, that's going to come to an end. It has to. Global growth will continue. Maybe not as strong as it's been, but it will continue. Does it warrant like garbage bin prices for things like agriculture, base metals, um, oil and gas and stuff? I don't believe so. So I'm taking a small wager, small bet or whatever, and I intend to hold this until oil recovers. I don't believe that the new green energy revolution is going to take us off oil overnight. It's just not going to happen. It's going to take some time. Maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years. I don't know. Just look around, see the cars on the road, right? They're all burning gas and diesel. Only a very, very small percentage is doing the electric thing. Now, that's not to say there's not technological innovations that could come about that could make, if we all had solar panels and a Tesla in our driveway, maybe that might be a thing. But all that stuff costs a lot of money, and nobody has any of that right now. So my guess is that the economy will continue to run on oil and gas for the foreseeable future. And when that recovers, I'm looking at probably doubling my money at least. So I saw Warren Buffett jumped into some, he's been buying up some energy and commodity assets. He bought some up in Japan. I saw he bought Suncor Energy in Canada. He bought Dominion Energy. That's like natural gas pipelines. I think that was back in June, or Devon Energy. I forget whatever name that energy place is. He's there. He's in that space because he recognizes that energy is something that we use every single day of our lives. And it's a finite resource. And one day, with all the shut-in productions, all the shale producers, they've all gone bankrupt. Shutting in all these wells, it's not like they're going to turn the tap back on and we got oil again or natural gas or whatever. Like once this, like it takes a significant move. So my guess is that we're in for higher prices. So I heard one of my great financial or actually precious metal guys is Rick Rule, and he has a saying where he says like the cure for low prices is low prices, because then nobody is able to produce anything, and then prices begin to rise. A supply demand thing, basic economics. So I'm kind of taking a play from his book and seeing some value in the energy sector. It's off its March lows for sure. But I still see significant upside. So I'm gonna invest, and that's what I did. So I bought some shares there. I bought some shares in Suncor Energy, which is a Canadian oil sands producer. Canadian oil is probably the most hated oil on earth. So this is a major contrarian play. But I also bought the international energy index through the iShares ETF to kind of play it globally as well. So that's some things that I've done recently. I've trimmed a little bit of my financial holdings. I held a lot of banks. I started trimming just because I'm not sure if we're going to end up in a banking crisis. And if that happens, bad things will happen. We've been through one in 08, 09. Not fun. So far, I think governments around the world have basically managed to float the economy. Time will tell what it's going to look like this winter. We have an election in the US. There's all sorts of craziness. Are we in for a 29 style crash where it dipped in March and then it ran up, and then for like, are we in for the big one, basically the big crash of 2020? I'm not sure. But to hedge against all this stuff, I have gold, I have silver, I have a little bit of cash, not too much. I've invested a lot of it, but not to worry. I still got cash rolling in. And that's the other thing too. I get a lot of passive income from my investments in dividend stocks, and mostly it's automatically reinvested to buy more shares. Um, Luckily for me, almost all of my shares are kind of old economy stocks like banks and utilities and pipelines and whatnot. So those aren't trading at 52-week highs, unlike the Teslas and Microsoft and Apple, Amazons. So I'm able to get more of those shares at very, very good prices. There's always risk. There's risk in everything. Um, there's risk that my bank stocks will tank or something like that. But the key is, I think it's just not to be exposed to any one sector, to any one name, to anyone, anything. I think diversification. I was listening to a thing from Ray Dalio the other day, and he was talking about how important it is to be diversified nowadays, and I couldn't agree more. Um, One of the main reasons I like quickly went out and bought a bunch of gold and silver was because I was unprepared and underinvested in this in that sector. Yes, I've had gold and silver coins as part of my coin collection for forever, but I didn't have a whole lot of them, particularly gold. So I just thought it's safe. Hey, maybe I bought too high. I don't know. It's ultimately it's a small proportion of my net worth, so I don't really care either way. I do know if I need it, it's there to hopefully get my family through some very difficult times. I mean, if we're using gold and silver, that means like not good. So anyways, those were my reasons. I don't have any more plans to continue buying any gold and silver at this point. I'm just going to kind of wait and see. I'm almost at 10 ounces of gold. I'd like to pick up a few more. Maybe if we get a big pullback, something like we had in August, or if we get down to 1800 or 17, if it breaks support somewhere, I'll probably be buying into that. Because of course, at that point, that would mean all my financial assets are soaring in value, and I'm okay with that. So I'm trying to buy low, sell high, although with the gold, silver, I didn't buy at the ultimate low, but I got in, I'm staying in. I even see there's pension funds moving into the sector now. Warren Buffett's bought into a gold stock. So, yeah, it's volatile. If you're not okay with like being up and down crazily, these things can go 5, 10%, 20%, 30%. It's nothing. Same with oil. Oil is super volatile. Any of these things are really, really volatile. Commodities always have been. So if you're looking for a sleep at night sort of thing, do not buy precious metals and oil energy stocks and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I'm doing, and that's where I'm at. I still have all my financial assets, and I was happy to see my net worth jump about 35,000 in August just by basically doing nothing, holding on to my financial investments and acquiring physical gold and silver, as well as some paper gold. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I got to do a passive income report. I'm excited about that. Slowly but surely, I'm starting to reach my goals. I had an ambitious net worth goal this year. I'm not sure if I'm gonna reach it. If the markets go like crazy, gangbuster returns and that, I'll probably reach it. If we get another big sell off, I probably won't. But these goals are just to kind of keep me motivated, keep me focused on what I want to be doing, where I need to be, what I want to get to. More so than anything else. It's just motivation. It's not a hard target. I know I'll eventually reach my goals just by kind of staying the course, doing the same thing. I'll be picking up more gold and silver. I'll be buying some more energy share. I'll be buying more bank stocks. The world will go on. But that said, we need to protect ourselves, and we got to prepare. So, anyways, guys, I'm not going to bore you guys too much longer. This video's kind of gone on quite a bit. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom, where I just published my net worth report. You can kind of look at it. That's the template that I use. If you're interested in looking at your own finances, that should be a guide Just use that as a guide to check your own stuff out. Um, and also, I'm going to be writing pretty soon. I'll be putting out my passive income report. Maybe I'll get it done today, send it out tomorrow or whatever. And guys, I really believe like if you're investing, you want to be investing for the long term and you want to be investing for cash flow. Robert Kiyosaki was a big influence on me. If you own real estate, make sure it's cash flowing. If you own some stocks, make sure you're getting some good juicy dividends while they last, because that stuff can keep you afloat. Most people's problem has always been they don't have enough money to make it month to month. They're always scrambling or borrowing. Invest for cash flow, and you'll always have money coming in. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Take care. Stay safe.